Shall we begin?
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Matticus Valentin Kole. Happy Monday-ish. You know how I feel about Mondays, so that's either good or bad depending on who you are. Alright guys, I had a question in my Instagram DM this morning to talk about a topic, and it's not going to be very long, but I'm actually kind of curious to know what you guys think about this too. So once I'm done telling you my opinion, leave your opinion in the comments below, because I think this is a pretty worthy discussion. Basically, the question was, why do American men date more foreign women? And I did some research on it, and I really don't see that's the case. In fact, according to a poll done last year or last April, 79% of American men are married to American women. That's a pretty huge margin, so I don't think that American men have given up the ghost on American women yet and running en masse. However, the opinion of polls taken for American men who have not yet gotten married, that's a very different story. Quite more of a few of them, if they're not opting out of marriage entirely, are thinking of, or at least considering, dating a spouse, dating or getting married to someone outside of the country. Typically, it's done a lot of different ways. In the old days, mail order brides were a thing, but that's extremely dangerous. I never recommend it, because it's like dating on Craigslist, and you might be looking for a spouse but end up in the trunk of somebody's car with your livers missing. You know what I mean? A lot of people are also moving out of the country to meet potential spouses, going to Mexico or Thailand, or to the Philippines or Japan, and to meet a potential spouse. The main reason that a lot of them do so is simply because either A, they just haven't had a whole lot of luck with American women. But one trend that's been happening in the last 3 months, more and more men are absolutely terrified of getting involved with American women. And it has nothing to do with how nice they are or how beautiful they are. I've dated nothing but American women in my entire adult life, and I love American women, my lovelies. But one thing that is true is that, and I've touched on this in previous videos, it is scary dating in America these days, much less getting married. Not only is the prospect of a marriage actually succeeding becoming now rare. 3 out of 4 marriages are ending in divorce within 5 years. That's staggering, which means that you have a 3 out of 4 chance of not only getting divorced, but losing half of your livelihood, losing your stuff, losing your kids, all manner of stuff. And all of that is because courts and the media and everyone else is geared towards securing the rights of women first and men a very distant second. And don't get me wrong, this is a very general statement, but I'm not saying that all women are like this. In fact, most women that I know are not like this, but it is extremely difficult to be sure, because whenever you date somebody, and whether they're American or not, whenever you're dating somebody, everyone is putting on their absolute best face and showing you the best sides of themselves at first. And it isn't until later, in some cases much later, that you begin to relax, start taking things for granted, and then once you've taken off the mask, that's when the shit really hits the fan. And typically, people who are traveling to the Philippines, or holy cow, a lot of people are going to Thailand, a lot. And mostly because it's not that they're finding the women there are weak or submissive or timid. quite the opposite. In fact, some of the YouTube videos I've seen for women in Thailand, they're extremely strong, very opinionated, and you better not piss any of them off or at your ass. On the flip side, though, they are also extremely strong and they do take care of you. And it's not to say that American men have a need to be taken care of. I can take care of myself, thank you very much. But one thing that they are finding is some degree of security that someone that they're dating outside of the country is not going to turn around and make false accusations about them, take advantage of them, lead them down a primrose path, and lead them to a path of social, financial, and emotional destruction. Is that going to be true of every man who dates outside of the country? Of course not. Of course not. Duh. But I hear women talking all the time that it's so hard to find a good man. Well, the good men are out there, but the problem is that they're all terrified. I'm just going to be real. I don't even give a damn how it sounds. Men are petrified when it comes to the prospect of giving a woman a chance, because when two people break up these days, it's not a matter of, oh, well, he sucks and oh, she sucks, and well, lesson learned, and they go their own way. Now there's actual repercussions. Think about that. There are actual repercussions between sexual misconduct for people who there's websites where women can go and post pictures of their exes and flag them as people who are bad dates, who are cheap, who are socially awkward. You know, there's a lot of different categories, and a lot of people are thrown under the bus. And I'll also say this, the opposite is also true. There's a lot of websites where men will actually put women on social media and say, whatever you do, don't date this woman because this is what happened with her, blah, 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 blah. It is not exclusive to one gender or another. But because the old days of, okay, didn't work out, shit happens, and you get to go on living your life unscathed, is almost gone. And people are going to other countries because they want to be secure that they are getting what they want. Now, and I'm not talking about sex or even loyalty or anything like that. What I'm talking about is most foreign women, when they're looking to date foreign men, they aren't putting on a facade. They're telling you straight up, if you want to be with me, this is what it's going to be. And what they want is extremely reasonable to many guys, you know? And I don't know, it's a very complicated issue. I don't think that American men have quite given up on American women yet. But I can honestly say, having seen what I've seen and seeing the stories of what people have been talking about, it is coming. And women are going to have a much harder and harder time finding a good man, because good men are afraid of what you could potentially do to them if it doesn't work out. It's that simple. I don't like it. I think it's a horrible situation. What an incredible amount of pressure and fear to be in. Romance is supposed to be something magical and passionate and wondrous and almost storybook in its fantasy. And instead, it's a potential nightmare waiting just behind the wings, and you won't know until you get into that situation and make yourself vulnerable. And it's incredibly hard. And what that also creates, especially for women who actually do find a guy, they're wondering why their guys are so skittish, why they're so hesitant, why they're so nervous, why they're so untrusting. That's why. That fear of what's going to happen to them when this relationship ends is paralyzing to people. And it's even broader than that. I've heard stories from like gay friends that their spouse, that their significant others have turned around and not just dumped them, but stabbed them in the back. You know, and it's happening with everything. But honestly, as I'm reading statistics like this and I'm looking at the way people treat each other, to me, the solution is insanely simple. Don't make mountains out of molehills. Remember that that the person that you're dating is not just a man or a woman, but they're a person. Remember that they are a person first, that they're people first, and people need security. They need respect. They need acceptance. They need guidance. They need protection. They need support. They need an emotional foundation. And I would even say a spiritual foundation. I'm not talking about religion, because not everybody's religious, but a spiritual foundation where you have a balance inside yourself, and that is your foundation. And letting friendship be your foundation, as opposed to how good they are in bed, will go a long way. But honestly, I don't think anything is going to improve until we as a people look inside ourselves, check ourselves, and learn to take the stick out of our ass, take the hits as they come. I think it's how we deal with negativity that is how our relationships have devolved into this almost battle between the genders. And I don't think that's healthy. I don't think it's good, and it doesn't serve to bring us together. You know, it's a messy, messy issue. People have asked me, Matt, have you ever considered going to another country and dating somebody? Yeah, I've thought about it. Not because I'm tired of American women, just because I think it would be an interesting experience to do and to see what another culture is like. I may love what I find. I may not. I may hate it. I may go, oh my God, I need to go back to Texas and find me a cowgirl. Or go to California and find a surfer girl. Or go to New York and get my ass kicked. Just kidding. Because we know the New Yorkers, man, they tough, man. They tough. They know what's what, right? Yeah. You know, but ultimately, the minute we forget we're people and start grafting onto the labels that separate us, the worse the situation is going to get. Okay, so I hope that answers the question, guys. And again, this is just my opinion. I don't think that we're quite past the point of no return. I have a huge amount of faith in humanity and as a whole. I have faith in you. I love you. I want you guys to be okay. And but I want to know what you guys think. So put your thoughts in the comments below. Any and all comments are welcome. And but ultimately, as we're going out in life, let's work to be a little kinder to each other. Let's be more open-minded. Be a little more broad in our perspective. Okay. All right, guys, that's it for me. Hey, listen, if you guys like the video, give me a thumbs up, give it a liker. If it's your first time here, hey, subscribe. But as always, keep the shadows at your feet and forever out of your heart. I loves you. Oh, I appreciate you. Laters.